So I recently started to pay way more attention to the ingredients that are in my food, and y'all, when I say they're playing in our face, these ingredients are not giving very classy, they're not giving very demure, and that's exactly why today we're gonna play a game that I'm calling What the Frick is Actually in My Food. And spoiler alert, it's a lot of stuff that shouldn't be. Well, we just need to politely throw that out. Oh God, sorry, I'm overwhelmed. Damn. Okay, y'all, I'm kind of scared. I'm kind of excited, but it is time to play What the Frick is in Our Food. So just to give a little bit of context of how I'm going to do this, we are going to just go through random items that I've grabbed from out of my pantry. And I'm not gonna lie, my pantry is looking a little bare because we're waiting for payday so we can restock. But I've just tried to grab a few things that I have in my pantry right now, and we're just gonna go through and scan and see what the tea is and what is actually in the food that I have in my pantry. I'm using an app called Yuka. I was just introduced to this app a few weeks ago by my aunt when I was telling her I just want to be more intentional about the things that I am consuming and putting in my body. And so I've been using this app for the last few weeks and I have been obsessed personally. So the way that this works is you go in the app and you scan the barcode of the food item that you want to get a product score for, and the Yuka app will do all the analysis for you and tell you whether or not the scoring is excellent, good, bad, or poor. So to do the scorings, it is looking at 3 things, and that includes the nutritional value, the additives, and then also the organic nature of the product. So it'll give you that score based on these 3 things, and then it will call out also any recommendations of other items that would be better. Then finally, the thing that I like about Yuka is that it also includes scientific sources that tells you, like, if there's an associated risk, these are the scientific sources that say this is the risk and here's why. So far I've had a really positive experience with it, but obviously they say like the ratings established by the app and is an opinion given by Yuka, and these adjectives of excellent, good, poor, and bad refer to the score and not the product directly. And I call that out because I am not a dietitian, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not here to tell you what you should be eating and what you shouldn't be eating, but I am just advocating for the fact that we should learn more about the things that we're putting into our body, and then once we know more, we can make informed decisions based on that. So you can't do better if you don't know better. So all I'm just saying is we should know better. I think that's all the context that we need. I think we can go ahead and get right into it. We're gonna start off easy, and the first thing we're going to start off with is this honey bunches of oat honey roasted granola. I love this stuff. In a parfait with your fruit, so good. But let's see what the tea is. Y'all, maybe we're not starting off easy. This was ranked 30 out of 100. Okay, let's see why though. And I'll pop in like the scoring on the screen so that you guys can see why it is ranked as a 30 out of 100, aka poor. The negatives are it contains a high risk additive, it has too many calories, and it has too much sugar. Positives are it has a good source of fiber, a good source of protein, low saturated fat, and low sodium. But I want to see more info on the okay, so the high risk additive in this granola is the caramel color. And so this caramel color weakens the immune system, it's an allergen, and it says possible presence of contaminants. Wow, okay. Like if I'm just in the store reading, and I usually read labels before I buy it in the store, but as I'm reading caramel color, I have no idea that there's all these side effects linked to it. So I'm gonna go to the next item, but we started out with a 30 out of 100. Let's see if we can do better. I'm gonna do this apple go-go squeeze. Y'all, I eat one of these almost every day, so I am praying that these are okay for me to eat because these are just so easy and so convenient, and they're so good. Let's see. Okay, 90 out of 100. she's approved. Thank you, God. Okay, so the tea on this, no additives. I feel like that's the thing that I'm like really focused on right now is like, what are all the additives in the food? Like if something has too many calories or too much sugar, I'm gonna be mindful and maybe be like, I'll eat you occasionally. But I'm personally just trying to be mindful of all of the additives that are in the food. So this one has no additives. The fruit is excellent quality. It has fiber, it's low calorie, no saturated fat, no sodium, and then the sugar is low impact. So not a ton of sugar, which yay. Okay, we did good for the applesauce. The next thing is the Oh Snap Pickling Co. These are fire. These are so good. These are so good. Quick and easy snack too. Let's see what Oh Snap Pickling Co. is giving. Girl, Oh Snap is for 42 out of 100, and it has 2 high-risk additives and a lot of sodium. Outside of that, everything is good. So the first additive is sodium benzoate or benzoate. Girl, I'm not a scientist. And this high-risk additive potential associated risk includes adverse effects on reproduction, adverse effects on the liver, adverse effects on the kidney, adverse effects on the blood, weakening of the immune system. Those are just a few of the potential associated risks with this preservative. And so it says that this is used to extend the product's shelf life. Some of the scientific sources include the FDA, the European Food Safety, and I think those might be, so those are the 2 sources that they use, but they literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 articles from those 2 sources that are saying like, scientifically, we believe these things are linked to all of those risks. Everything I feel like I'd be liking just don't be good for you. They just don't be good for you. It's like, oh snap. If you just take out those additives, just take out the additives, girl. And then these would be so tea. But why do we need all of the extra stuff? We don't, we really don't. We don't. Okay, I'm sorry. See, this is why I literally say I'm obsessed with this app, because I've been in the store recently and I'll just be scanning everything. I literally the other week spent an hour in the store just scanning and reading everything. And I gotta keep going because I have a lot more stuff that I want to get through. So let me stop yapping and get to scanning so we can see what the frick is in our food. Rapid fire. Okay. Lock in, twin. Next, I'm going to do, y'all, the caramel dip. I didn't even get to introduce it because I started scanning. The caramel dip is a 0 out of 100. It's a 0 out of 100. It has too much sugar, it has too many calories, and it has too much saturated fat, and then it has 2 high-risk additives. So those additives are disodium phosphate, which is a texturizing agent, and then mono and diglycerides of fatty acids, which is a texturizing agent. And so some of the risk of these 2 additives are cardiovascular diseases, adverse effects on the kidneys, disorder of bone mineralization, and exceeding of the acceptable daily value. And then the second additive is suspected to be linked to cancer. Again, cardiovascular diseases, weakens the immune system, intestinal inflammation, disturbs our gut microbiome, weakens the intestinal barrier, and possible presence of contaminants. So, damn, this with some fruit, literally so sad. Okay, next we have ramen and noodles. Girl, I've been hearing for years you should not eat ramen noodles and that they're bad for you, but they just be hitting when you ain't got no food because, AKA like me right now, you're waiting for payday and you're waiting to get more groceries. These come in clutch. But just looking at all of the ingredients on the back of this list, I don't have much hope. This might be our second 0, but let's get into it and let's see. We got another 0, y'all. We got it. Wait. Not only did we get another 0, there are 7 high risk additives in these freaking ramen noodles. 7. This is the most I've ever seen. 7 high risk additives, which is caramel color, tertiary butyl hydroquinone, monosodium phosphate, triphosphates, sodium polyphosphate, silicone dioxide, monosodium glutamate. Those are all the 7 high risk additives. Then they have limited risk, which includes which includes sodium carbonate and disodium guanylate. We just need to politely throw that out. Need I say more? Okay, I only have 4 more items. The next one is this rigatoni pasta. I love pasta, and everyone is like scared of pasta and thinks pasta is bad for us, but let's see. This is a 90 out of 100, girl. 90 out of 100. It says it's an excellent amount of protein. It has some fiber, no saturated fat, low sugar, no sodium, not a ton of calories, and there's no additives. Okay, pasta. Last thing is juice. You can scan like liquids, you can scan sauces, basically anything that has a barcode, I scan it. So let's see what the T is for our Simply. Simply is also poor. At least we got up to a 30, but Simply is poor. However, the reason it is saying that Simply is poor is because it's saying it has too many calories. And then finally it's saying, ooh, 25 grams of sugar is crazy. And it has 25 grams of sugar. And those are the 2 negatives that it is calling out for Simply, but it does not have any additives or anything. It just has too many calories and it has too much sugar. Y'all, that's all I got for today's game of what the frick is in my food. And I'm gonna be honest, scanning these items, I'm just like, wow, we truly as consumers just need to be more aware of what we are putting in our bodies. And a lot of times we may go for convenience, or I will go for convenience. I will go for convenience and not always pay attention to what exactly is in those things that I am grabbing. If there's anything that I have learned as I have gotten older, it is that your health is not a convenience. Your health is a true luxury that I know I sometimes take for granted. Like, there are some people out here who do not have the luxury of being healthy. They are quite literally sick and would do anything to be healthy. And so I'm just trying to be more mindful of the things that I am consuming. I guess that's just what I want to encourage everybody else to do. Like, again, I'm not telling you you should eat this or you should eat that, or this label or this brand is bad, this brand is good. You can make that decision for yourself. I'm just saying, educate and become more aware of what's in our food. Hopefully you learned something as much as I did today, and hopefully you also feel encouraged to take control of what you're consuming as a consumer. I mean, I think that's one of the coolest things is, as a consumer, we have free will to choose what we want to consume. And that also is a really cool luxury. So I'll get off my soapbox. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video.